Hello, my friends. Welcome to your seat at the table. I'm Rick. This is Great White Mama, of course, once again, during her level best to be a microphone. And she absolutely just wants lots and lots of attention, right? We don't give her too much attention because she gets crazy. So we're looking at Letter of the Law, Battletech novel by Philip A. Lee. And I picked this book up, of course, about the time somebody, uh, you know, uh, we won't name Big Red, but somebody had a channel that was talking about he didn't think the book was all that good. And it was his personal opinion on that, which is always everybody's entitled to their own personal opinions. I have mixed feelings about this novel. As a generic Battletech setting novel, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the gist of the basis was that this Count Gavin Stewart, which we knew very little of, or at least I had prior to anybody in this book, I have no knowledge of any of these characters anywhere else, or any aside from peripheral kind of connections. I have no idea who these people were. And so, anyways, this Count Gavin Stewart decides he's going to he convinces the Silver Hawk Irregulars commanders to follow him back to Stewart after most of the Wolf Tomen had gone to Earth to fight, for the Ilkan position. And that it was their understanding that it had been pretty much stripped and left to wither on the vine. And they figured if there was ever a time to go, it was now. Unfortunately, the higher ups in the Free Worlds League were putting kiboshes on things like that because of the real possibility of retribution from the Clan Wolf if and when the Ilk Clan shows up and starts inserting themselves. So the good count, and the commanders of the Silverhawks were acting, against the will of of the Free Worlds League and its leadership. So they're successful more or less, and they're still fighting some leftover Saloma units that are in hiding that are still trying to fight. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's just crap popping up randomly on my effing computer. It just annoys the bejesus out of me. Yes, Mama, I know you want attention. Yes, I know, right there, but you're just nuts. Yes, you are. I'm gonna take her half an hour to get through this part, right? And then she'll settle down, kind of stuff. He was so this other fellow by the name of Trent Marik, Captain Trent Marik, of the Marik family, by the sounds of it, was tasked to go to talk to his friend, the Count, and try to talk some sense into him to get them to come back and to abandon this attempt to recapture the Stewart. And apparently there was some other understandings that were, in play that didn't pan out. Like the good Count has supposedly hired some mercenaries for follow-up to garrison Stewart, which would enable the Colonel and the Silverhawks to continue on liberating the Silverhawks coalition from Clan Wolf. And of course, that was not going to happen because the mercenary deal fell through, and so there was no backup coming. And at some point in this conundrum, we get the clan protectorate. So we get members of the Nova Cats or the Spirit Cats. I can't keep track of all those guys, who's what and where anymore. Then there was the Diamond Sharks, of course. Both of them were at odds as to whether or not their loyalties to House Marik and the Protectorate, which is where they've been living for some time, outweighs their loyalty to the Ilkan. We now have an Ilkan sitting on Terra, so by clan law, that makes them the uber leader of the clans, and that all clans are supposed to be complacent and to willingly act in good stead with the Ilklan's orders. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, Ulrich's not issuing a whole lot of stuff. There's not a whole lot of anything coming out of Terra as far as we know, at least as far as I know anyway. And I grant you, I'm still behind the ball on some of this stuff. Yes, we gotta lay down now. What are we gonna do? Oh, all right. Now, I don't want to get you too excited because then I don't want you peeing all over everything. And she gets too excited and right. But she's happy right now. She's happy. That's the me. Yes. Now we're gonna come back up. Yep. Okay. Back into this. All right. Because I didn't rub her belly. So the novel is as a whole, it's okay. right? It's covering an area once again, like a lot of novels do. It's a piecemeal or a little segment of the life of the current era and age of BattleTech and how things are going. The lack of instantaneous or near instantaneous communications because of the the ComNet being down, of course, is still problematic. The Count has other reasons because there was supposedly dirty secrets hinted at that there was a real possibility that the clans were going to uncover, which would be decimating to House Stewart in general. And I'm not sure exactly how that plans out, other than maybe something to do with the Sleegi house or whatever that doesn't exist anymore. Or is that a different house, different place? Not sure. There's a couple windows that was left open by Mr. Lee for further stories to be built upon, but it also leaves a lot of head scratching. Going, what? So basically, the Clan Protectorate agrees to disagree to send some forces to Stewart to reclaim the planet in the name of the Wolf, Clan Wolf, and to uphold the treaty or whatever that had been established between Clan Wolf and the Free Worlds League. But they weren't authorized necessarily to do so. And at the end of the day, one of the clusters ends up having to book feet. They can't go back to Protectorate and Free Worlds League, and they're suddenly well, maybe you don't want to know. All right. No, I'm going to tell you because that's spoilers. Spoilers. That's what I do. You don't. Most of you guys don't listen to the end of this video anyway. Thumbs up if you listen this far. Anyway, so this what's left this provincial unit from not the Diamond Shark. Was it? Yeah, Diamond Sharks unit flees and or no, not Diamond Sharks. It was the Nova Cats unit. I'm confused as to who the hell's what in the damn Protector, to be honest. There's a lot going on there that I'm not up to speed on. Anyhow, they get a connected. They run into yet another member of the Diamond Sharks that whose captain claims that he's talking for, or no, the Sakan of the Diamond Sharks contacts them, talking instead or acting in good faith for the Ilkhan. It has a message from them or to them from the Ilkhan. So I'm going to guess it's going to say, you go on to Earth and we will utilize you in or whatever our future plans are, or they have plans for them. I'm not so sure about what's going on there. And I haven't had time to read up on for Ilkan's Eyes Only. I really need to get it bound up and read. I meant to do that a few weeks ago, but this transition stuff with my job is it's really kind of throwing wrenches into things, is what it is. At the end of the day, though, the novel's pretty decent. It does showcase, some concerns and possible scenarios and issues that will take place down the road that will need to be resolved within the Free Worlds League and Clan Wolf's sphere of influence. But it also shows that power does abhors a vacuum, so it's just inevitable that some power that be will make an will see the lack thereof of power from the Ill Clan or Clan Wolf specifically in their territory as an open invitation to reclaim the stuff that didn't belong to them in the first place, regardless of how they acquired it, and that will set the tone. So the provision or the clan people involved that got involved with this. They were concerned that if they didn't show that they were loyal to the Il Clan by defending his turf, that this would come back and haunt them. The other half of them was concerned that their loyalty belongs to the Free Worlds League, who gave them a home, and they should act in good faith. Now, there's a lot to be said to that, but there's also a lot to be point out that good faith goes both ways, and that you name a house that hasn't pulled some shisty stuff over time. The Nova Cats, for example, should bloody well know how that works, because look what happened to them at the Draconis Combine. At the end of the day, they were never treated as welcome members of the Combine, and then eventually were all but eradicated or expelled. Where did I miss that one altogether? I mean, it's possible. So, as the book goes, it's okay. I mean, I probably will read it eventually sometime before I die. It's not going to be on the high list of books to read, but it does fill a little niche here and there. There's nothing spectacular about it, I guess. As stories goes, it's okay. There's once again, I felt that some of the secondary characters were a little two dimensional. I mean, there was some attempts to give some life to the Saloma or Bond person, Willow, for example, does show a little depth on a personal scale with the young the older fella that she's kind of had this hit or miss relationship that's been developing, but the character development between the Captain Merrick and I didn't see a whole lot of character growth there. We do get introduced to trying to reintegrate him a little bit more into free world society or something. I understand that, his line of the family is no longer head honcho, so he's either playing down this or he's keeping it. You going over there, Mama? You gonna get some down? Okay. So I guess I'm just not paying enough attention to her. So she's gonna go lay down, which is fine, Mama. You've been over here for a minute. Anyhow, letter of the law. Get it? Read it. Why not? Right? Till next time, I'm me or you. It's sunny out today. It's Sunday. I believe it's what is it the ninth, Sunday the ninth. So this might be weeks down the road before it actually gets posted. Uh, I am now going into my second week, sort of. I mean, I'm on the payroll for this new company. Been on the payroll since last Sunday, so official week. But the payroll system's not set up. The clock-in systems, however this stuff works, they're not. I'm not getting it, or that it's not prepared right yet, or something. I'm trying to follow it, but I'm also keeping it written down by hand because I don't know. I had a job scheduled this morning to do we do this beef. It's called Iowa Beef Steakhouse. We do it. They're exhausted every 4 months, and we do the grease trap at the same time because that's how the owners want it. And so the hood guys are supposed to have been there at 8 a.m. this morning, and I got there around 10 a.m. Nobody's there. There's no sign anybody's even been there. And I know it takes 5 to 6 hours to do this job, so they should have been there till past noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Because I'm technically not supposed to show up till they're about done, which would be around noon. So I was there at 10, nobody was there. Now I had another job not too far away that was a makeup job from a couple weeks prior, and so I went ahead and knocked it out too while I was out, so it wasn't a complete wash. But I contacted my contact within the new company and explained what went on. He says, "Well, don't worry about it." Because he asked if I'd called the hood crew, and I said, "Well, no, I didn't call the hood crew. That's no longer my job. That's not part of my job anymore. I don't. It's not my responsibility to coordinate these things and make these things happen. And it was never my job responsibility in the past either. It was something my former boss was supposed to do, and apparently it fell through or something. I don't. It is what it is, right? I expect to do a long day tomorrow and couple short days and long days. I'm still trying to work off of my all clean schedule stuff, but since I'm kind of doing office work, but I'm not doing as much office work as I was up here, and it's just for this transition. At some point, they'll get all of our clients integrated into their system, and then I will just be driving a truck and doing big outdoor ones. I hopefully don't have to do any more of these little inside ones. That some are easy to do and some of them are real pain in the butt. But they have a couple guys and a couple trucks set up to do just those things. And hey, put me in a big truck. Put me in, boss. I'll drive outside, and as long as I get the hours and stuff. I mean, right now we're still kind of fluxing up and down. I was my former boss and them gave us a severance check, a very generous one. It was much more than I expected, but not nearly as high as they could have done. For 9 years of service, but I'm still grateful for it. It will allow the wife and I to carry over for the next 3 weeks to this transition thing, and not overly fret about getting bills paid. I know the first of April they told me that my new health insurance should kick in. At that point, I can contact my current health insurance and cut it off. So I end up owing $2,200 to the IRS this year. It was 1,900 last year, so it was up freaking 300 more than last year. Uh, Last year I killed myself trying to get it all paid off. This year, not happening. I'm going to send them $100 a month until it's paid. If it takes 2 years to pay it, fuck them. I don't tell them. The IRS is so I don't know. Just don't. I'm not killing myself on it. I was able to pay off my furnace, so that's an extra 200 in the check, or spending money when our normal schedule is resumed. I usually get 40 to 50 hours a week, and 20 to 25 hours a week won't cut it. I can't sustain that for any length of time. So, I mean, I got a little window here. I'm trying not to be overly stressed about it. Trying to, I got finally got the W-4, all that stuff signed last week. That's all in the books. I did all of last week should show up on a payday. I mean, I should get paid for it, but they get paid every 2 weeks. And the new pay cycle started today. So tomorrow I'm going to have to ask them, what about the hours that I did last week? Did I get paid for that? Or is this like do I have to wait 3 weeks to see it show up? I mean, is there a delay? I need to know this stuff so I can try to plan my my budget for my money. Anyhow, thanks for listening and hearing me cry. Till next time.